Do you have faith?
I have faith in my kids.
Me too.
Yeah, I have faith in my kids. And I have faith that, you know, as long as you keep moving forward, just keep walking forward, things will be all right, I suppose, you know. Faith in terms of religion, religion is not my specialty, you know.
The most feasible ways is to please the spirits is to deride Christ and his people, such as you see today in the rock music world. You see the entertainers, they have these crosses. Ladies got earrings, crosses. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
Do you have faith?
I have faith in my kids. I have faith that, you know, as long as you keep moving forward, just keep walking forward, things will be all right, I suppose, you know. Faith in terms of religion, religion is not my specialty, you know.
Witches teach that the Christian Bible is an absolute lie, created by the god of evil named Jesus.
I hereby pronounce this the final shot of the set. Wait a minute.
What's that?
I have never told anyone what I'm about to tell you. I like to dress in women's clothing.
Is when I dropped the information about Quincy Jones. He set up sex rings in Hollywood. I'm saying there's a homosexual ritual that they go through in the Illuminati secret societies. Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince, and his first movie was what? 6 Degrees of Separation. Brought in Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah set it off, licking and kissing on women. Are you following me? Yes. Tevin Campbell, his little sweet ass up and down Hollywood Boulevard. Go online and read where Tupac said he was asked by Quincy Jones to fuck him in the ass. When Tupac said no, that's when Tupac was marked for death. Why? Because Tupac was engaged to Quincy Jones's daughter. Quincy Jones's daughter was best friend was Aaliyah. Aaliyah was engaged to Dame Dash. Now, if y'all follow these people back, all of them either died or was brought to ruin.
Without TV, the Illuminati would never gain control of the world. There's symbols on the TV sets that are hypnotic symbols. You can talk to anybody that's a hypnotist and they can tell you, why do you think that you can sit there and somebody can scream in your ear half the time and you don't know they're screaming at you? There are things that are burnt into your mind through the TV sets that are subtle, that are symbols and words and action. 2 of the major networks in this country are completely Illuminati owned. Lock, stock, and barrel. ABC and CBS. And NBC is 90% Illuminati. Try getting a serious Bible-believing program on TV that preaches hardcore gospel. It'll never happen.
Another amazing man in Johnny's life, Hunter S. Thompson. Johnny became friends with Thompson before he filmed Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It was a friendship that endured for years.
Let's talk about Hunter Thompson and your friendship with him.
Hunter and I, it was when I was researching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I was living in his basement, you know, and I happened upon this box as we were looking through the manuscript of Fear and Loathing.
So explain to the uninitiated who Hunter Thompson was.
He was, without question, I mean, I think the most important non-fiction writer of the 20th century. You know.
He reinvented
a style of writing, by putting himself into the situation, by living it, by putting himself into the situation, by living it.
I like to kill.
And when you say kill, you're talking about what, neighbors? What?
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
Could you relax with him?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Well, tell us about the first time you ever met him.
There was a sort of scheduled meeting. It was about midnight, and I was sitting in the back of this bar, and suddenly the front door opened of the bar. I was way in the back, and I saw sparks, these hideous sparks that were kind of everywhere. And then I realized as he came closer, the sea was parting. People jumping and diving and hurling themselves to safety. I realized that he had a 3-foot cattle prod in his left hand. In his left hand, he had a 3-foot cattle prod. Right hand, he had a taser gun. And a taser in his right. And then I heard, "Out of my way, you bastards." What I heard was, "Out of the way, you bastards." And then we shook hands, and then we went back to his house and built a bomb. I shot it with a shotgun.
And it went off?
Yeah, 80-foot fireball, yeah, huge.
See, it does sound like fun.
Nitroglycerin and things like that.
We did this thing, Breakfast with Hunter, where he was in town, so I went to, Johnny Depp and I went to go see him, and we picked him up in some car, and he had some inflatable blow-up doll that he was calling Ling Ling, and we drove around Hollywood before he went to this reading, and he kept beating the doll. And then he would take her out into the street and say, "You bitch!" And he would just be punching this blow-up doll on the street, and you see these cars swerving. And I mean, he was just always ready for a show that was beyond any sense of kind of decency, and went into some absurdist land that made your head spin.
I like to kill. I was hunting because I like to kill.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
No, I'm not teasing. I used to like to kill.
Hunter S. Thompson, a friend of yours.
Later in life, just kind of veered off, you know,
right.
a little. In terms
Demons.
Of veered off, you know,
right.
a little. In terms
Demons.
Of
Demons.
Do you have faith?
Faith in terms of religion, I don't. Religion is not my specialty, you know.
The most feasible ways as to please the spirits is to deride Christ and his people, such as you see today in the rock music world. You see the entertainers, they have these crosses. Ladies got earrings, crosses. This is a form of blasphemy, a form of deriding Christ.
And if Washington doesn't have enough to talk about these days, the Washington Times reported today that unidentified White House aides in the Carter, Reagan, and Bush administrations now are being investigated for using the services of a call boy ring. A call boy ring.
Aside from the fact that you had sex with some of these politicians, at some of these parties, did you recognize any prominent senators or congressmen or anybody?
I seen, at the time, Vice President Bush go in and All he did was the kids performed oral sex on him. That was it.
Kids what?
Performed oral sex on him, and
The kid performed oral. Which of the black kid or the white kid?
both. Well, when
President Bush came in. Two separate parties. Once with a white kid, once with a black kid. Yeah. So you saw him twice.
Yeah.
And the kid had to perform oral sex on him.
The illumination of 1,000 points of light, and it is expressed by all who know the irresistible force of a child's hand, the irresistible force of a child's hand, of a friend who stands by you and stays there, a volunteer's generous gesture.
After the party was over, the ones that were involved with him, or the ones that he was trying to get political favors from, that wanted whatever they wanted, they would stay or they'd come in after the party was over, or the next day. See, so at the party, nothing even abnormal. I mean, if somebody was in there and stuff, they'd see no abnormal activities going on, so they would, honestly be able to say that. I've been to parties, but I've never seen anything, so.
I do that for, I like to kill. I was hunting because I like to kill.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about shooting people, do we?
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
No, I'm not teasing. I used to like to kill.
He used to call me Colonel Depp. He said, Colonel, we must produce this. We'll produce this together. It'll be our, and so that was the plan. Losing Hunter took me down because you know that these friends, these mentors, these teachers, these father figures, these someone who you really. It was amazing to be accepted by them and to be loved by them.
He dictated exactly the way he was going to live his life.
Or maybe he didn't care.
Oh, well, he couldn't give a rat's.
Yeah.
He really didn't.
So it didn't
care.
make any difference what planet. It was all going to be about him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to kill.
No, but you're teasing when you say you like to kill, right?
Hunter S. Thompson, who was the author of The Rum Diary and the author of many great books, including Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he reinvented a style of writing by putting himself into the situation, by living it, He's, for me, one of the great heroes. He's, for me, one of the great heroes. He's, for me, one of the great heroes.
And when he died, you blew his ashes.
What Hunter wanted was to be blown out of a 150-foot cannon and shot into the stratosphere. And I think he knew that I was the only one stupid enough to make that happen, and I did.
Did it work?
Oh, yeah.
It came down all over all of us. We were covered in Hunter's ashes. But the idea also is to take Hunter, his ashes, and then mix that in with gunpowder. There was something so poetic about that, something so kind of symmetrical about Hunter becoming basically large bullets.
But today, the West Memphis Three have become a cause celeb. How can you be absolutely sure that these three men are innocent?
If there was the tiniest sliver of doubt, I wouldn't be sitting here.
They're cold-blooded murderers.
In your opinion, it doesn't add up that way for us.
In my opinion, and 24 jurors out of the state of Arkansas's opinion.
The West Memphis Three, convicted of a horrific crime, the murders of 3 8-year-old boys in Arkansas.
The little boys were found in a drainage ditch, mutilated and beaten to death.
The crime was believed to be part of a satanic ritual.
Do you feel a sense of the clock ticking?
Oh, yeah.